So let's reverse engineer how I created a life for myself that is unrecognizable compared to just 2 or 3 years ago. I've prepared some notes, which I'm going to be sharing with you in this video, and I've broken it down into 9 bullet points of things that I can see that I started doing that transformed my life. Just a few years ago, right? I was so stuck. No matter how much action I was taking, I felt stuck, like nothing was happening or working. I was consistently broke, never seemed to be able to push past a very low ceiling when it came to earning money. I was very scared and insecure in general. I feel like that was kind of my, how I felt on the inside the majority of the time. I'm grateful for the place I lived, but there was a lot of damp, there was a lot of mold. We lived in a depressed part of London. We lived next door to a house that housed people who had just come out of prison. So we were constantly hearing fights, abuse, drug deals, all of that literally outside our bathroom window, which shared an alleyway with this house next to us. And on top of all of that, my life was hugely imbalanced. I was overworking, drifting apart from friends. I think I can always find things to be grateful for in that chapter of my life, but certainly I needed to change a lot. Fast forward to now, my day-to-day life feels so much easier. Things are growing so much more easily. I am financially independent completely through my own business, so I don't have a job. That was a dream, a goal of mine for a long time. In general, I would say that the energy that lives within me is relatively calm. I still obviously have, all of the emotions, but I feel so much more calm and secure within myself than I used to. We're living in Spain. My quality of life is so much more balanced, so much healthier, more sun on my skin, more time to see friends, more beautiful quality friendships than ever before, a beautiful balanced life with my husband. It's just night and day. So now let me walk you through the 9 things that I feel are fundamental. And I always feel like it's useful, right? When you see that you've been able to create transformation in your life, the best thing I can do, the most helpful thing I can offer you is to reverse engineer, to connect the dots looking backwards, because you can't always connect the dots looking forwards, but you can look back and go, okay, I think it was really down to these pivotal things that made such a big difference. So the first thing I've got written down here is that I started focusing on what I wanted more than what I didn't want. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, but Lucie, I understand how manifestation works, and every damn day I'm thinking about what I want. I'm meditating and focusing on what I want. I know what I want, and yet where the fuck is it? And I thought that I was focused on what I wanted every single day. Whereas actually, I was feeding more energy into the fact that I wanted it, but I didn't have it. And therefore, I was frustrated, impatient, and doubting it every day. So I was under the guise of thinking that I'm focused on earning this much and achieving this and achieving that, staring at a vision board, doing all this stuff. But actually, if you were to just talk about it on an energetic level, was I being in alignment? Was I actually thinking and feeling like I had it now? Was I focused on those goals with total trust, knowing that it's on its way? Things are great. It's unfolding for me. I know it's on its way. I know it's coming and I can have this, etc., etc. Or if I was really honest with myself, in reality, was I actually thinking, it's still not here yet? What if it never comes? Why is it so hard for me? How come those other people have it and I don't? I really wish I could get it, but what if I don't have it? If any of those thoughts sound familiar to you, then it actually sounds like you might be focused on the wrong end of the subject, on the unwanted, when you think that you're focused on what is wanted. There was one day when I was actually sat in hospital looking after my grandma in her final weeks that I heard an Abraham Hicks video talk about how every subject is 2 subjects, right? We may pick up the stick of more money or pick up the stick of relationships and think, I'm focused on wanting more money, but there's one side of the stick that is actually the abundance of money, and there's another side of the same stick which is the lack of money. And we might actually be, grabbing hold of and focused on and hitting ourselves over the head with the side of the stick that is lack of money, thinking about it, worrying about it, doubting it, frustrating about it. So it's something to think deeply about, to like really kind of go, okay, what are my thoughts actually? What are my feelings actually? Am I picking up the abundant or the lack side of the stick? The stick being that subject in your life, relationships, money, health, whatever it is that you want to manifest, yeah? So think on that. And if you can shift that, huge difference. The next thing I've written in my notes is I made taking care of my energy my number one priority. So this was something I learned from one of my mentors at a time when I was sort of thinking that, should I, shouldn't I? Do I really have time for all of this morning routine stuff? Wouldn't it be just a better use of my time if I just got on with my work? And so I asked one of my business mentors, this is how he said it. He said, I have to earn the right to touch my business by taking care of my energy first. So before I go and send someone an email, it's my responsibility to take care of my energy. So I send the best and the right email that is going to take me down that best outcome. It is my responsibility to feel calm, to regulate my nervous system, to open my mind and my brain up to the limitless possibilities before I dive into a strategy and planning meeting in my business, rather than entering that very same meeting with a totally different energy, totally different mindset, totally feeling this, that, or the other negative emotion. You see what I mean? It's like, it is worth the time for you to take care of your energy before you take action. And it doesn't have to take 3 hours every morning. It could be, and this is my bare minimum, I wake up, I stare at my scripting letter while I'm waking up, and then I put on a piece of meditation music for 4 minutes. It's called Gratitude. It's on Spotify. And I breathe in for 8 counts, breathe out for 8 counts. And I do that for 4 minutes. That is my bare minimum. I know that my body is thanking me for doing that, instead of grabbing my phone straight away, checking messages straight away, filling my head with drama or negative news, scrolling through social media and, zapping my dopamine receptors and just zapping my brain. These little things make a huge difference, and you don't have to have loads of time or the most perfect peaceful environment in order to do the bare minimum of taking care of your energy first. Getting outside of the house, going outside, letting your eyes see daylight is so valuable. Moving your body in any way, shape, or form, you are moving your energy. Breath work has been a huge one that changed things for me. That's definitely one of my top recommendations. So I mentioned that kind of like gentle breathing exercise, but there are other types of breath work, Wim Hof breath work, holotropic breath work, for a deeper experience that helps you to let go of sort of like deeply entrenched emotional trauma. I noticed my cortisol levels drastically dropped and improved by consistently doing Wim Hof style breath work every morning. So yeah, those are some things I do to take care of my energy that made a big difference. Next thing that I did, if I reverse engineer how I transform my life, is that I applaud myself for the fact that I experimented and I persisted and I trusted. So I had a vision that I wanted to be able to be self-employed. I had a vision for my life that I wanted to move to Spain one day. I had a vision that I wanted the freedom and flexibility, not only to run my own business, but to be able to do it from home, hours that I wanted, all of that. It didn't happen overnight, and it wasn't like the first business that I tried led to that. But I failed and tried again and failed and tried again. And every time I failed, I was getting better and I was learning and I was growing in confidence and I was picking up skills to be better at marketing, to be better at communicating, so none of it was a waste. But I think a lot of people dip their toes into entrepreneurship because I know that there's a lot of adverts out there of, try this money-making thing and that money-making. And sometimes we're led to believe that it's going to just take one try and it's going to work first time. And if it doesn't, a lot of people throw in the towel. So for me, it wasn't like that. It didn't work on the first try. And I think it's important for me to share that for anyone who might be under a false assumption that all these people who've transformed their lives and made loads of money online and all of this stuff just did it on the first try. The next thing I wrote here is I got serious and took my dreams seriously. So I think that I was kind of dabbling in my dreams, in taking the action, in creating my dream reality for a long time, because I didn't really believe it was possible. And as soon as I thought, hang on a second, let me actually treat it like a plan rather than a pipe dream, rather than a daydream, that was when things really started to kick into action for me. And I remember taking a commitment of 90 days. One of my mentors held me accountable for 90 days, challenged me to be consistent and show up on YouTube for 90 days. And those 90 days changed everything for me. Those 90 days took me from being a dabbler on YouTube who wasn't seeing any growth to someone who actually hit their first viral video, and then the subscribers started to grow and the community started to grow. And it was like, oh my gosh, I was doing YouTube kinda before, but it wasn't until I took it seriously and committed and just like mentally made the decision of, I'm going to take this seriously, the results showed up. The next thing I've written down here is I invested in shortcuts where I could. You know, I didn't have a load of money, but I did prioritize investing in myself. And wherever I could, whatever I could, you know, reasonably afford, I invested in those kinds of transformational workshops, mentorship, to get close to people whose brains I could pick, whose brains I thought, wow, if I could copy and paste the way that their brain works into my brain, that's gonna help, you know. Or just like, you know, they say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it did just affect the thoughts that popped into my head, the decisions that I chose to make, the ideas that I had access to, the solutions, the strategies. Yeah, when I started investing in mentors, that was like a shortcut. Before then, I was just guessing, really. Next is I fed my mind with positivity. So actually that's connected to the mentors, right? So I was surrounding myself, immersing myself, not only in the mentorship, but in personal development every single day. So listening to those positive energy every single morning definitely added up and made a difference to the way that I was thinking and feeling every day. The next one is I retrained my brain. So I started the work of telling myself new stories, which is a huge part of what I talk about on this channel today. So I started talking about my goals as if they were normal, telling my brain that it's normal for me to have these things, that it's safe for me to have these things, that I can have these things, that I already do have these things, that, you know, I was taking them off a pedestal. I think for the longest time, I put my dreams and goals on a big pedestal. I've made them into some big thing that felt far away or not possible for someone like me. And as soon as I threw that away and started talking about the goals that I wanted as within reach, you know, did it mean that they fell out of the sky and fell into my life? No, but it kind of feels like that at times, because when you start telling your mind a new story, you close the gap, because your mind then goes, okay, we can do it, rather than constantly your brain holds it away from you if you feel like it's far away from you. I feel like 50% of the game is just allowing yourself to know that you can run that race, you can get on that track and play that game. Then it becomes available to you. Then you're also open to receiving it. Next, I developed a new relationship with myself. I stopped being my own biggest bully and I started being my own best friend. And I'd like to caveat this by saying that I still to this day have that voice in my head that can bully me. I still have that inner critic, that one that can easily hyperfixate on flaws and the lack. But I started practicing letting this other voice speak up and listening to this other voice, which is a voice that is kind to myself and supportive, that speaks to me like someone who is so proud of me. And I started letting that voice hold the microphone more of the time in my brain. And it just made me feel so much better, number one. Relaxed my nervous system to feel safe and open to the things that I wanted. Changed the way that I felt about myself, because I started to believe in myself rather than believing that I was totally useless and just like not made of the same stuff that successful, happy people were made of. And just knowing that I'm there for myself gives you this kind of inner strength no matter what, this resilience, this feeling of safety within your own body that I think is so essential for manifesting what you want and also sustaining it, not self-sabotaging it, not throwing it all away. Because if you don't believe that you're worthy or deserving or safe in your body, then it's not going to feel safe to hold on to any blessings when they arrive. Do you know what I mean? And then from there, my ability to believe in myself and my belief that I deserve things totally changed. Sometimes people are going, oh, I really struggle to believe that I can have it. Well, let's start with developing a new relationship with yourself. Let's start by looking after you. Let's start by talking to you differently. Let's start by making an effort to be there for yourself every day. Hey, Lucie, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Okay, we're feeling a little bit anxious today. We're overthinking a bit today. Okay, what do we need? And you know what? While we're at it, let me focus on and let me talk to you about all the ways in which you're doing such a great job. Let me tell you about all the ways in which I'm proud of you. Yeah? And start listing those things to yourself. That's the foundation of your house. Then from there, when you look at a vision board, when you write yourself a scripting letter, when you decide, I want this goal or desire, you are going to feel much more worthy and deserving for these things to appear in your life because you like you value you love you. That isn't something that you just switch on. And if you feel like you don't value you or you don't love you, it's okay. You're not broken. Practice. Please practice. Put in the practice daily to start speaking to yourself in this new way, to start treating yourself in this new way. And in the days, weeks, and months that follow, you will find that you like yourself more, that you become more of your own best friend, that you trust in yourself more. It's okay if that doesn't happen like that. Think about any relationship worth having in your life. Is there just one button you can press to create an amazing relationship of deep trust and love and appreciation for one another? No, it takes feeding the relationship, nurturing the relationship, showing up for the relationship, right? It's the culmination, the culmination. It's the culmination of all of these deposits that you're making into that relationship that add up and turn it into a beautiful relationship that stands the test of time. That is what it's going to take to build that relationship with yourself. And that is, like I said, the foundations you need in order to allow this person over here to receive that totally better, lovely quality of life that you want for yourself. So let me know if these points were helpful. Let me know if there was one or two in particular where you were like, ooh, that one's for me. If you would like to go deeper with this work, if you would like more of my support, if you would like it mapped out in a step-by-step structured process, then my Aligned program is for you. It is my signature program. We have a beautiful community of amazing, positive women inside who all resonate so much with each other, and I'm sure will resonate with you too if you resonate with my videos. And it's a safe place where you can let yourself grow into this version of you that creates the most unrecognizable magical life for yourself. And we'll be there to guide you every step of the way. So I'll put the link down below if you would like to take a look, more information, to join the waiting list so that you can be the first to know when the doors reopen. I also have a program for you if you would like to dive into it straight away today. It's my 21-day Release the Blocks challenge. Imagine in just 21 days from now, thinking differently, your autopilot thoughts being different, your beliefs about yourself being better than ever, which in turn allows different circumstances to seem to appear in your life, which allows different things to magnetize towards you because you are now radiating a totally different frequency into the universe. It all starts with the subconscious mind, and it starts with releasing the blocks that may have been keeping us in the same holding pattern. So if you would like to dive into that today, you can do. I'll put the link down below for that too. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so you never miss another video. And if you're listening with us on podcasts, thank you for listening. Feel free to give this a 5-star review, and I will see you or listen with you or hear from you. No, you will hear from me on the next episode. All right, lots of love. Until next time.